Hello, good afternoon everybody. Welcome to today's cooking demonstration, cooking show here at 16A Wigmore Street. Today we're going to be cooking a spaghetti bolognese, and I'll be showing you exactly how the system is loaded in where the containers, how we prepare the utensils, and how to activate the whole system for this particular recipe. So let's go straight in. We're on Instagram and YouTube today. So if you do have any live questions, I'm happy to have a live chat, and I'll try and answer them as best as possible. And if there's anything a bit more specific or a bit more technical, and I will then get a member of my technical team to get back to you with an answer. But send that through to us on our website via our contact us page, and we'll be answering questions via the website as well. So let's go straight into the menu. So we'll go on to the interface. So we have that on the Moley interface, and I'll show you, actually we have quite a few recipes on there, and so we have about 60 recipes from around the world, and lots of different types of cuisine: Chinese, Indian, Asian, Spanish, Italian, and we aim to add about 3 to 4 new recipes every month. And these are very good professional recipes by chefs and well-known professionals. So let's go straight onto the interface, and we'll be able to go through the whole process. So here we see the main page, and here you see a diagram of the whole area, and let me just adjust the screen. Okay, right, so let's go straight to the recipes, and we're going to go for the bolognese. So here you see on the right hand side you can filter your menu. You've got different types of dietary requirements. You've also got different cuisine types as well, and other filters, so you can go and select some specific recipes. And we're now going to go for the bolognese, and here we have it, just in alphabetical order. There we go. Let's go back in, and let's go to the bolognese. There we go. So here with the bolognese, information it gives you is the actual ingredient list. So it gives you a very detailed list of the ingredients required, the weight requirements as well. Also tells you what equipment is required. In this case, it's a medium pot, mesh basket, and a slotted spatula. And also we've got nutritional facts as well on every single recipe. So if you need to know the level of carbohydrates, fat, fiber, protein, sodium, which is your salt, all the information is there on all our recipes. At the bottom you'll also see get ingredients. Now this is a function where you can actually send a reminder to somebody's phone or your own phone to remind yourself to get these ingredients fresh from the store and ready for cooking. So that eliminates, reheating food and having ultra processed foods. You can actually select all your ingredients fresh from the store, making sure it's the freshest of the fresh in terms of the quality. We also have an order ingredient delivery option, so you can register a local company, for example, like Ocado, Deliveroo, Just Eat, or the store itself, like Waitrose or Sainsbury's. And you can actually order these ingredients direct through our system, and these will be delivered prior to just before when you want to start cooking. So those are a couple of the functions we have. So we're going to go straight into the robotic cook. So just at the bottom on the right, you've got robotic cook. There we go. And here it shows you all the containers, what's required in each of the containers. And I'll show you on the shelf here the indicators showing where the containers are recommended, and they are illuminated with an LED light. So it's again very, very easy to use. And for example, this only takes a few minutes to prep, 5, 6, 7 minutes to prep this meal, and also to start loading takes literally a few minutes. So let's go straight in. First item is the olive oil. Now that's from a normal oil dispenser, which is already on the shelf. And this can be used for lots of other recipes as well. So it's like a generic oil dispenser, and that's already there. So I can confirm that's already in position. Next item, you'll probably just about see through the camera that this is now illuminated, which is the first container. Now I've prepped the ingredients prior to the demonstration, but I will show you how our integrated scale system works. To enable you to make sure you cook these recipes at a very high accurate level that basically gives you consistency throughout the whole process. So here in this one we've got red onions, 75 grams of carrots and 40 grams of celery, and the location for that is on the top shelf, and here it's already diced and prepped, so that's on the top shelf. And I can confirm that's done. Next is the 100 grams of pancetta. This is my pancetta here, already prepped, and that's at the second location indicated here. And so on. So you basically go through each item. Here we've got some wine, red wine, and that's at location indicated here. Make sure not to drop that. That's great. Confirm. Next is going to be my beef stock, chopped tomato paste, and that's going to be on the first location at the bottom. Now I'll explain how you can actually customize some of these recipes. There is obviously you follow the recipe guide, but there is ways you can customize it. If there's certain elements of the recipe you need to change, or you need to not have at all, or make an adjustment to, you can do it very, very slightly to all our recipes. And I'll explain what I did with this particular recipe once I've finished prepping it. So I can confirm that's in location. And next is the tagliatelle, bottom shelf, that's indicated. Very easy. I know exactly where it's telling me to put it, so there's no way of making a mistake. Confirm that. The Molden sea salt. Now I'll come back to the salt shortly because I want to show you how the integrated scale system works. So let's just miss that out for now. Let's go straight into the beef mince. Now, I mentioned about customizing the recipes. Now, I personally don't eat beef, so I've substituted the beef mince with lamb mince. So that's how you can customize these recipes to suit your dietary requirements. So this is going to go into the bottom shelf. And also the stock, by the way, instead of using beef stock, I've used, I think we've used, so we've used chicken stock. Yeah, so that's a substitute for that. But the consistency, the cooking process is going to be exactly the same. So that's confirmed. And that's it. So let's go back to the salt, because I want to show you how our integrated scale system works, which is linked to the interface. And it's a really great way of making sure that the recipe is cooked very accurately. So let's go to the salt. It's giving me the location, which is fine. So I'll just empty that out for the moment. So it's giving me the location. And simply put the containers on the scale, turn it on, and at the bottom on the interface you'll see the actual weight indicator. Now it's asking for 25 grams, so I simply put 25 grams in. There we go, that's exactly 25. So that's done, confirm, and loaded onto the shelf. There we go. That was it. So you can see how easy it was to prep these ingredients. A lot of these ingredients already came pre-prepped, which is great, but it didn't take me long at all. And you can see how it can be customized, and it's good to go. So now we just simply make sure the equipment's all in position, all in place as it should. So first item is the medium pot. Now I've already positioned them, so it's requested on the first left. This is where the sauce is going to be made, and in parallel, the second pot to your right is where the actual tagliatelle is going to be cooked. So both the pots are going to be used, and it's going to be cooking in parallel at the same time. So that's the medium pot. Now the other second pot there, I've already put the water in there, so we've got the water ready for the tagliatelle. I can confirm that's done. Then it's asking for the spatula on the hook. It's already got the indicator of number 1, which is number 1 hook. And also the diagram is very important, making sure that the spatula is facing the right way. So you don't want the spatula to be facing this way, because it won't actually give you a proper stir. It tells you on the diagram, this is the way it should be facing, and that's the way it should be positioned. So that can be confirmed. And finally, the mesh basket. And the mesh basket will be taking the tagliatelle and putting it, and you'll see all of this happening. Again, the diagram's telling me to put it the right way, and you don't want that going in upside down. So that's very important that you follow the diagram as well as the actual instruction itself. So that's confirmed. That's all there is to it. I can now start cooking process. Now on their interface, you'll see a little bit of information. So the robot will start moving immediately. Make sure the cooking area is free from unnecessary items, so the area is nice and clear. And it also gives you an indicator of how long the recipe is. So 38 minutes. So if you're, it gives you a bit of a time management control. So if you're doing something else, if you're prepping other things, or if you're just basically doing other things around the house, for example, you know that in about 30, 35, 38 minutes, this recipe is going to be done. So let's start cooking. So the arm itself will control the hob, turn on the hob, turn on the downdraft extractor, and also adjust the temperature as well. So it's a very accurate system in terms of controlling the induction hob. This is an induction hob with a downdraft extractor, and this extractor...
Set right hob to 7.
Oh, that's the voice notification in the background, by the way. So there's voice notification throughout the whole cooking process. So you could be in a different part of the room or a different part of the house, but you can still have the information on the tablet, which you can take it's a mobile tablet, so you can take that away, and you can actually see and hear exactly what's going on in the kitchen, which is very useful. So induction hob with a downdraft extractor. This one is going through a filter, and it comes out as fresh air under the plinth in the unit. This can also be ducted as well. So if you want to attach the extraction to external ducting, we can also provide the duct kit for that as well. So let's jump onto YouTube and Instagram. Let's just see if we have any questions at the moment. Nothing at the moment. That's good. Nothing on there at the moment. So yeah, so if you've got any questions, any kind of question you want to ask, doesn't matter how trivial the question is, please do ask, and I'll respond to you live on the chat here.
Tip onion, carrots and celery into the pot.
There we go. That's the next action going in. So you notice the tap in, again, is something that a human will be doing whilst they're cooking this meal. Give it a quick tap, making sure you're getting most of the ingredients out. It's an effective way of making sure all the ingredients are used. Here we go for the stirring process. Now the stir, we'll be able to stir in many different directions, making sure the stir is completely thorough as well. So you'll see that you'll have one direction, a different direction, and so on. Again, that's exactly what a chef would be doing. He'd be making the stir throughout, making sure everything is mixed as it should. Okay, got a question in from Lazarus Lynch. How long, on average, does it take to train the robot on a new recipe? The answer to that question is roughly about 3 to 4 hours. And the new recipe, in fact, it's a good question because you can also add to our recipe library your own traditional home cooked recipe meals as well. So you send in the information, you send us a little workflow, a list of the ingredients, a method, maybe a video, whatever. Then our in-house chef, James Taylor, will take that recipe of yours and convert it into the robotic cooking process and give all the information to our engineers. Our engineers will then upload all the different algorithms, check all the manipulations and the parameters, making sure that that meal is cooked the way it should be. So you can also load your own traditional home recipes into the library.
Stir 3.
So yeah, so it doesn't really actually take that long to load your own recipe. It's a very, very simple system for that. Our system itself, we've got a worldwide patent on the whole system, the actual control box and the software and so on. So it's fully certified for UK and EU, and it's also available ex-works to the US and the Far East as well, which means that anybody who wants to buy from the US or the Far East will just be responsible for the shipping or the air freight. But we can support you with all the relevant documents required for that, but it's available literally around the world.
Place spatula back.
Now you will notice also the scraping is important as well, so it's a very clean process. There's a minimum amount of mess, to be honest with you. Normally when you're cooking, it's actually quite a messy area. All the recipes are cooked so precisely that the amount of mess is so minimal, so therefore are much easier to clean afterwards. Everything's dishwashable, all our special containers, the utensils, even the pots, everything here is dishwashable. The arm itself, once in a while you may just want to give it a wipe down with a fiber cloth, but there's no special cleaning requirements required for the arm itself, but just a rough wipe down. The arm itself is actually industrial level, and it's already used in about 90,000 different applications around the world. So we have lots of international partners and support in terms of the robotic arm. So 35 hours testing, but so basically in a residential environment, that's almost like 10 years of test, of use and so on, that you'll have no issues with. Another question here from Laser Lynch. Can the speed of the robot be adjusted, move faster? Of course, any adjustments can be made, but we have to bear in mind the needs of the recipe. You can't really cook something fast. You have to wait for onions to cook. You have to wait for the vegetables to cook, and so on. So it's actually cooking in real time, exactly the same timing as the chef would be cooking this recipe. Also on the interface, you'll see a flagging system and an indicator that tells you basically how far down the process it is. And also the flagging system also tells you what the next action is going to be as well, whilst it's cooking. And at the bottom as well, you've got full control over the arm. In case if you need to pause the cooking process and say, for example, you're cooking and somebody comes to the door and you're not sure who it is, you can actually put the whole cooking process on pause and see to whatever you need to, and you can come back and resume the cooking process.
mince into pot.
So as I mentioned before, we're not using beef mince, we're using lamb mince because of my preference. And I know for a fact that it's going to cook it exactly the same way. And there's going to be no issues with this particular recipe in terms of taste and result. Nicely, all the mince is in, that's great. So here in the showroom in 16A Wigmore Street in the heart of London, this is where we have all our residential models on display here. So this particular display is called our X-Air model. This is where you've got a bank of wall units, base units and wall cupboards on the peninsula coming off the end of the kitchen. That's the style of this particular X-Air model. This can also be integrated on an island. So if you've got a standalone island and you want to make the robotic system a bit more of a feature in the middle of your design, we can also have this installed on the island, totally independent from the main kitchen area as well. And just behind me to my left, you'll probably just see in the background the chef's table. Now that's a pure standalone system. Now that can be integrated into an existing kitchen, for example. So you've just done your kitchen, you've got some space, it's a nice open plan area, you've got a bit of a wall space. The space requirements for the chef's table there is only about 1.2 by 1.2 meters square. So that can be positioned against the wall. So in the middle of the, in between the kitchen and the living area, there could be a nice place to have it as a focal point. It's a simple plug-in system, just plugs into 220 volts and you're ready to go. So the whole thing comes already with the containers, the shelves, the pots, pans, and everything you need. Just here to my right, behind me, is the B-Air model. These two B-Air models are more back to the wall. So if you've got a long kitchen, a galley type kitchen, and you've got the length but you haven't got the width, we can then combine the furniture to go against the wall and have the robotic arm in a more compact space. So basically everything you see here against the wall and all the actual recipes and the cooking of the ingredients and everything is exactly the same. So all the recipes can be cooked in that design as well.
Spatula back.
So we collaborate in terms of the actual furniture integrated with our state-of-the-art AI system. So we collaborate with renowned Italian kitchen brands for the likes of Minotti, for example. So we've got premium Italian materials in terms of finishing for the actual door panels and the end panels. You can go for like a veneer, real wood veneer. You can go for high gloss lacquer, metallic lacquer. On the kitchen BM model, just at the end there, that's a sky blue metallic color. That's the actual color Ferrari use on their cars. So the actual lacquering quality is very similar to car lacquering quality. So which means it's a very durable kitchen. So with our designs, we also design all the kitchens from here in our showroom. So we can customize all the designs to your requirements. All we need is like a floor plan or as much information as possible, maybe from your architect or designer. And we'll be happy to then go through it here in the showroom with you. We can arrange a design meeting, but also part of the design meeting, we can do a recipe demonstration. So not only will you be able to see the design, but you'll see how the robot will be functioning in your kitchen. So you get an idea of how the recipes are cooked and how you can visualize this in your own kitchen. As you can hear in the background, the voice notification of each of the processes is very useful because, for example, I could be working from home, and a lot of people are doing hybrid working, so they work from home, and you could be concentrating on your work, but on the side you can actually hear what's going on in the kitchen. So that's a very useful tool to have in terms of the voice notification. There's an element of here where you can actually voice control some of the recipes. You can actually voice select the recipes and control the interface that way as well. Let's see if we've got any more questions. Not at the moment. Okay, that's good. So,
Stir pot.
so as I mentioned before, a lot of the recipes are very consistent, very high quality recipes. We've in fact had some major influencers like Uncle Roger and Chef Nick Giovanni, and they've recently tried meals from the Moley robotic system, and both were so impressed as to how fresh and how delicious the food was with the robotic system. And they couldn't believe that a robotic system like this could cook a meal with such quality and precision that they were really, really impressed with the whole system. We've also got other recipes in our library from, for example, Tim Anderson. He's one of the master chef runners-up here in the UK, and we have some of his recipes and a few more other famous chefs as well. Some of those chefs are a gentleman called Andres Caminada, a very famous Swiss chef, and we have his recipes. So we do lots of recipes, as I mentioned, from Vietnam, from Vietnamese, Chinese, Swiss, Italian, Thai, Indian, Mexican. So we have such a wide, varied range of recipes in our library already, and we aim to have about 3 to 4 new recipes every month. Also, the BM model just behind me, the blue one, not only does it do hob cooking, so not only does it cook meals just using the hob, but the function on that particular module is that it can also cook meals using the oven. So the robotic arm can actually reach to the oven, open the door, slide out the tray, load the pot, close it, activate the controls on the oven. So there are lots of oven recipes that we're currently beta testing, and as soon as we've confirmed those recipes, we'll be adding that to the library as well. Some of the other places we have like a tom yum soup and lamb keema. Now lamb keema was my own traditional recipe that I cook at home regularly. I gave that information to our chef James. He then, within a few hours, gave all the information then to the engineers, and my recipe is now in the library to be shared around the world, and it was loaded literally in 3 to 4 hours maximum. We also do a vegetarian collection, so if people require a tasty plant-based recipe, we also have that. We have vegan collection, and so we have some nice flavored recipes free from any animal produce. And also low calorie. So we do low calorie meals which are under about 400 calories, and both the vegetarian, vegan meat and fish options as well. And in particular, the Shah cuisine from Spain, the Shah wellness cuisine. So these are high in nutrition recipes, but very, very low in calories. So if you're in some sort of weight management, or if you've got any dietary requirements, if you're suffering from diabetes or if you've got any health issues, then there's lots of recipes in our library to assist you to make sure you have a healthier diet and to manage any dietary requirements. Just going to check if there's got any more questions whilst the actual sauce is simmering away nicely. Let's go back on to Insta, to Moley. Welcome Joseph on YouTube, hi. Hope you're enjoying the actual cooking demonstration so far. We do the cooking demos every 2 weeks, so in a couple of weeks we'll be doing another new recipe. And as I mentioned, we try and show new recipes every time we do the demonstration as we add to the library. Okay, so the indicator on the interface is showing that we're 51%, so halfway through the cooking process, which is very good for me to know because I could be with friends, family. I could have popped out to take the dog for a walk or just been working from home, but it's good to know that, you know, in about, say, another 15, 20 minutes maximum, that my recipe and my meal is going to be ready. The average servings for the pots we have, as you can see here, average servings is about, say, about three people, 3 to 4 people. We do recipes with larger amounts, so we can do larger pots, 10 kg pots. So if you've got a party happening, or you've got a gathering, or you've got friends coming over, say there's 20, 30, 40 people coming over, we can quite easily give you a selection of recipes where you can increase the amount and have meals for larger amounts of people. Okay, let's check if there's any questions here. Okay.
Stir pot.
Okay, do some more stirring, making sure everything's getting mixed nicely and thoroughly, so the meal is cooked as it should. Now, some of the frequently asked questions we do get asked often is, can I add my own recipes? I've already explained that you can, yes. Also, can the kitchen cook in 2 pots simultaneously? Yes, it can. So as you can see here, it's doing the pasta and the sauce and the pasta, the tagliatelle, at the same time. Now, the energy consumption is actually quite low because it will only turn on the water when it's required, and as soon as it's finished, it will immediately turn it off. Now, if when we're normally cooking, we could be having the 2 pots on, and it could be running the power unnecessarily. So it's energy efficient. So on average, the actual, say, an hour's worth of operation, the arm will only probably use, the whole system, in fact, will probably only use about, say, 120 watts of energy. So that's equivalent to a kitchen appliance, like a fridge, you know, a laptop or something like that you may have in the kitchen. So it's a very, very low energy, so highly energy efficient and useful in that sense. Also, the containers, some people often request extra containers. So if you don't want to have to prepare each time, you can have a day's prepped worth of recipes in your fridge, and that's very useful. So all it means is you just go to the fridge, pick the recipe, go to the fridge, get your containers. Now these containers also come with lids, so it's kept closed, vacuum sealed, and in the fridge, so it enables you to keep the ingredients relatively fresh as well, which is good. Also, if you're maybe planning maybe 2 or 3 days worth of ingredients, some people do order extra containers for several days, so you can have a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday meal plan, and at least you know you've got 3 days covered, and you've got some containers ready, and you've got no cooking to do, all you do is simply take them out of the fridge, load them on the shelf. Sadly, in this country, we have about 200,000 tons of food wasted from our fridges that we throw away. Now, this is a great way of the system being environmentally friendly and highly efficient and less waste, because you can actually have the exact amount of ingredients that are required for a certain amount of days or for one day. So you don't have to keep going in, opening a packet of carrots or a large packet of other ingredients, but you only use a portion of that, and the rest of it sits in the fridge, and then more often than not, that packet within a few more days is out of date and ends up in the bin. So because you're accurately measuring, you're accurately storing the ingredients, you're helping the environment, reducing waste, and having very good quality recipes. Some other frequently asked questions is, a very important question in fact, is how much does it cost? So our chef's table, the standalone system there, as you can see, starts at £89,440 GBP. The XM model, which is this model here, with all the furniture, everything you see here, work surface, the units, sink, taps, the additional appliances that are required here, is roughly about £113,000. And our BM module, which is a lot longer than this one, which has also the integrated fridge, the integrated freezer, dishwasher, and all the appliances. So that kitchen is absolutely complete, everything that you need. Also got the Corian as well. That's also roughly about 113,000. But really, the cost of your kitchen depends on the architecture, depends on the design, depends on the materials that you introduce. You may not want Corian, you may want quartz. Quartz is a little bit cheaper than Corian, so the price can vary up and down. So we can actually more or less design a kitchen to most budgets without any issues. If you have a lower budget, for example, say you had a budget of £45,000, but you really wanted a robotic system, we can still supply the kitchen, but we can future-proof it. So we can actually set the kitchen up so it's got everything that's required, even down to just the actual subframe. And we can produce a whole kitchen, say, for about £45,000. And then when you're ready for the robotic system, we can then install the robot afterwards in the future. Now, there are a lot of benefits in the Moley robotic system. One being the actual financial benefit. So annually, you can actually save about £43,000. Now, this is based on, that's a 70.6% cost reduction. So, for example, if you have a family of four, you've got 2 adults and two children, just by replacing the restaurant meals and delivery service that you'd have for a family of 4 regularly on a daily basis, say a delivery recipe and a restaurant meal, this is a significant saving. And just to give you an example, I think an average, in fact, this particular Bolognese recipe, we did our research from some of the restaurants and some of the well-known places around London. The average price was about £18 for a very good quality, from a very good establishment. But in fact, all these ingredients only actually cost us about £6. So you can see the significant saving there. Okay, let's check if we've got any other questions on Insta and on YouTube. Nothing at the moment. Also, the other important thing is you're freeing up a lot of time. As you can see, I've done nothing. The robot arm is doing everything for me to cook this meal. So you can actually free up about 45 minutes to an hour per meal, which basically equates to about over a 5-year period, that's about 93 days saved over a 5-year period. That's a lot of time. That's almost like 3 months of time saved. I mean, that's, you spend time in the kitchen, you never get that time back, but this system allows you to save about almost like 3 months of time over a 5-year period. So that's a very good fact on that. So another frequently asked question we get asked is, what if my pet jumps into the kitchen whilst the robot is cooking? So we have an emergency stop button. Now the emergency stop button is a requirement for all our models. It's the red kill button. A lot of people call it the kill button, the kill switch. It's the emergency stop button. So as soon as you press that button, if something happens around the kitchen, you press that button, everything will stop. The power will stop, everything will actually be completely deactivated to keep the environment safe. As soon as you release that button, it will start engaging and it can restart and resume almost like where it left off. So we do have a safety protocol in place for that. And in fact, part of the CE certification for UK and Europe was I had to meet a lot of iOS safety standards, and we've actually got all those safety protocols covered, and hence the CE certification. So we're 79% of the way into our recipe, and because it's quite a rich sauce, it's now simmering away. It's the wine obviously has got in there, so obviously it needs a time for the wine to reduce, really get a nice rich sauce, and as soon as that's simmered and ready, the tagliatelle will go in soon after, and when that's ready, goes back into the single pot, and the robot will give it a final stir. And I will show you guys the final result, so you'll see exactly what the robot has done in terms of this recipe and cooking it from scratch. So another question we get asked is, what is the lead time for a whole system? So again, depending on the architecture of the kitchen and how much furniture and so on, the average lead time is between 3 to 6 months. And we have a team that can install the kitchen as a dry fit installation, so you'll just be responsible for electrical and plumbing elements, but we can actually supply the kitchens with the installation team for dry fit installation only, and that also includes the engineers who will come in and check the robotic system and get it commissioned, ready for you to use. Here we go. This is quite a dramatical part of the actual cooking process where the basket will now go in. As you saw just then, the water was only turned on when it was required, so it's almost reached a boiling point. That's the good thing about these induction hobs, they're very, very efficient. So tagliatelle now going in. This tagliatelle is fresh, so it doesn't actually need that long to cook. Okay, we've got a question in on YouTube from Getarak. Do you have to prep everything? Yes, you do have to prep. But like any good, high quality recipe, you're in control of the ingredients. And as I mentioned, you can send a reminder to your phone to go to the store to get the ingredients fresh. Now, it's really important to get the maximum nutrition, the maximum flavor of all our recipes. We recommend actually you do select the ingredients, and once the ingredients are received, the instructions on the interface shows you, for example, if the onions need to be small diced, medium diced, or just sliced. It tells you the actual thickness of the pancetta, or in some cases the tofu, how thick the cubes should be. Now, it's guiding you, so you're in full control. Obviously, there's some lots of elements that robots can't do. For example, we can't have it holding a knife. That's part of the CE certification for safety reasons. And so, therefore, you're in control of the prep. Not only that, you can prep as much as you want. You can have extra containers. You can prep more for later on in the fridge. So you're in control of the prep, and that is done manually. But everything else apart from that is done by the robotic system. Question in from Lazarus Lynch. If the technology fails or glitches, what is the reset protocol? That's a good question. If any issues arise like that, you just simply get in touch with us or give us a call. It's a cloud-based system, so we can more or less kind of like diagnose remotely from here any issues that you're facing. We do have a vision system. We have cameras built in as well. So if required, we can, with your permission, we can possibly log in and see visually what the issue is, and we can then advise. As I mentioned, this is already, the arm itself is in fact already used in 90,000 different applications around the world. And it's used in laboratories, engineering plants, different types of industries that require the robotics. So we have international support from all our partners in any country. Any issues going forwards, if you have, we'll be able to service that as well. So you have a full warranty, which can be extended. And if you want to create a service agreement, we can also do a service agreement. And rest assured, wherever you are, you'll have full support on the whole product. Sorry, going back to Getarak's question on YouTube about prepping everything. Sometimes nowadays you can actually select from the stores a lot of the ingredients prepped. You can actually get diced carrots, diced onions. So you can get a lot of ingredients nowadays that's already pre-prepped, which saves time as well. But the time to take to prep and load on the shelf is so minimal. It's like I said, this only took me about 5-6 minutes max. And it's I'm getting a really high quality fresh meal. All the tagliatelle is fell in nicely, as you can see. It's giving a little bit of a shake, and there's not much mess at all. By the way, this is just literally just a couple of drops of water, maybe a couple of little residue of the ingredients. But other than that, it's so clean and so precise.
Stir pot.
So here we go, just the probably the last few stirs left, and I will show you exactly what the finished result is. As you can see, I haven't done anything at all apart from load the ingredients. I've not had to go over to the pot and help the robot arm to do anything as part of the cooking process. It's done absolutely everything. It's like having a chef in your own kitchen cooking for you. And the good thing is it's 24/7, so you could activate this early in the morning. When you come home from a late night and you want a decent meal, and rather than ordering a takeaway and not knowing how healthy it is, you can create yourself a nice healthy meal at say 2, 3, 4 in the morning when you don't really want to be cooking too much. But if you've already got the ingredients prepped in the fridge, just take them out of the fridge, put them on the shelf, select it on the interface, press play, let it cook, done. So easy, so easy. Right, so we've got, okay, so we are really 99%, we're almost done. And I'll wait for the voice notification when it's done the final stir, and it's giving it a nice little stir there as well. Perfect. I can't wait to taste this, it smells really good. So yeah, if you have any further questions, please send them through, and I'll be happy to answer them during the final part of this demonstration.
Recipe cooking finished.
There you go. So recipe cooking finished. So that means I can show you exactly what the result is. So let's grab a nice bowl. Got my spoon here for the tagliatelle, and I'll show you exactly what this spaghetti bolognese looks like. So grab a spatula, and it's mixed absolutely perfectly. Let's just grab a little bit of this. This is exactly how I'd receive it in a restaurant. This is the quality here. Looks absolutely amazing. Wow, looks really good. I don't even have to worry about any parmesan because it's already tasty enough. So let me show you guys exactly what it looks like. So here we have spaghetti bolognese, all nicely mixed. All the actual tagliatelle's got the sauce all over it. The lamb is perfectly cooked, pancetta, carrots, got some nice vegetables in there, and it smells absolutely fantastic. I'm just going to give it a bit of a taste test so you guys can really see how this has turned out. Let's grab some spaghetti. Wow. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. This is just exactly how I'd receive it in a restaurant. This is so nice. So, I'm going to go away and finish this, and just like to thank you all. I'm just going to check if this, if we have any more further questions before I finish the demonstration. So we have another question in from Gatarak. It did make almost no mess. Exactly. As you can see, there's literally no mess at all. I'll just give this a clean with a damp cloth. I don't even need to clean the arm. Everything will go in a dishwasher, and happy days. There's not much for me to do in terms of cleaning. And because I've already prepped the ingredients and the prepping knife and the chopping board and so on is already in the dishwasher, because whilst this was cooking, I put everything away. So my kitchen is nice and clean. My meal's ready. I'm going to enjoy this a lot more knowing that I don't have to do any cleaning afterwards. So thank you all for joining today. See you in 2 weeks' time for the next cooking show. Thank you very much, and goodbye.